Hi folks, I'm going to show you how to make these nifty um, silhouette spinners, and you can use this for just about everything. I started out with crows. uh, I got a bunch of these left over. I'll explain them in a second. um, so a bunch of these left over, so I decided to try it with my goose silhouettes. um, and now these are, I'm not recommending brand or anything like that. Um, Obviously, these are sky fly decoys. Um, and steak normally comes through here, you know. Uh, but um, I I found out that just kind of by holding and experimenting a little bit, is that roughly right here, right at this part right here, right at the edge, okay, is that the head, the cap of that has to be underneath here. It doesn't. You can set it kind of down like that, not to a point. Obviously, you don't want to look unnatural, or you can get it right, like this. So, at any rate, these things attach, and then what happens is in my case, is that I just take and put some, oak doweling. I imagine you go whatever length you want. I think this is 16 inches because I cut 36 inches in half. So at any rate, and then this thing, you just, once this is attached, you just set it right on there, and then it just free spins with these. Doesn't make a lot, and it doesn't really make noise to speak of. The other thing I do is, not that end, but this end, I wax, or I round these off, and then wax this area, just this area here, enough, with paraffin wax. And it helps to make it slicker and makes them spin, and they're more quiet. So, and then I have a whole bunch, of them, and I just take a rubber band and put them on there, as simple as it can be. Pull it off, put it on your wrist, whatever you're going to do. Make sure you keep it so you can put it together again, and don't use metal on the plastic, because as these things spin, you can literally drill a hole right through it. I'm not kidding. It will eat right through it quicker than you can shake a stick at it. So you don't want to do that. The other thing you have to do, let me go on this thing here. So all this is 1/2 inch CPVC pipe. Okay, it's thinner wall, that type of thing, and a matching cap. Okay, so I went and I bought 10 feet of it. I can't remember what I paid for it, but it's cheap. It's like, no, not even $4. And so, and the caps I think were like 33 cents a piece at Menards, where I go. And so I cut them to 6 inches roughly. You're not going to get complete 6 inches. When you get near the end, you got to kind of shorten them up just a little bit, to make up for where you cut. So just roughly 6 inches. You go 5.5 probably, or 5 3/4 or something like that. I just think 6 inches is easier. So, so then and these are just pounded on. They're not glued. You don't need to glue them. This isn't some heavy duty application. This is basically turning this into a weather vane. That's all it's doing. It's just going to turn this into a weather vane. It turns easily in the wind. That's why you don't need anything but 3/8 dowel, to do this job. So the other thing, I've already flocked these because I've used them these are extras that I use for crows. The one thing I had to do, because of the cap, there's a gap in between the two. So if I lay it on here, it'll end up, like that, So what I did is to compensate for that, I just took some hot glue and I just put it on there, and you just don't overdo it, but you're trying to get it so that it's somewhat even with that. Okay. Then what I'll do is at whatever angle I intend to use off of that point, whichever. Okay, I'll put the glue strip, and then I will just set this down on here, and there's a reason why I set it on here, is this way when I go to put that glue strip on, is that I can take this thing and I can set it on there into the glue and hold it, so that, if it was on a flat surface, it'd be pretty difficult to hold on to it. But anyway, so we'll do that. And today we had 25 to 35 mile an hour gusts here. There was whiteout conditions in places, and I put these outside in those conditions, right in the direct wind in between the houses, and they just spun. They didn't come off, nothing. They just spun. Now the other thing I should also point out that I'll be doing too is you need to get some some alcohol, wipe down your area you're gonna apply this glue to. Okay, make sure you have plenty of glue sticks, depending on how many of these you got, because I got about another 5 dozen to do. So, and then have some flocking powder. So these are gonna look like the legs. Obviously they're black. Powder coat, the coat are real nice and flocked. Flocking was cheap on Amazon, super cheap. I bought a pound of it, a huge bag of it, cheap. So what I'll do is when I put that glue on now, is then I'll take some of this flocking while that glue is wet, and I'll put it in there and let it sit on there, until it hardens, and I'll blow it off. That'll make it stick to it big time. And I won't have to paint it. So the rest of the stuff here, where a little goofy, it's not a big deal anyway. But I'll be touching that up, once I got this on here, and I can handle it this way. Then I'll put some touch-up paint and some flocking on there to take care of those spots. But that's how I did it. Just find your pivot point anywhere in there to give them a different look. That's the other thing. Instead of everything looking exactly the same when it comes to your feeders, your sentries, your collars, change the direction a little bit, because it doesn't matter that much. Unless, again, you went way unnatural. So you just put them on there, and then, like I say, you just, you don't have to put in your, you can see these have been used, put it in that far, to here or whatever, and it holds these things just fine, because again, these are going to be weather vanes. They don't need a ton of support, just something thick enough and solid, good hard doweling. This is oak doweling, pretty cheap stuff. And again, buy 36-inch pieces and cut them in half, or cut them to whatever length you like, So go ahead and we'll put this on here after I take them. We'll just clean this off a little bit. Let it dry up a little bit, either side, whatever. It don't matter what side you do either. That's the other thing. It doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about it. So, okay. Dry that up. Okay. Now this one I'm going to put at a bit of an angle. Just a bit of an angle, I say. I'm going to change them up, however. So let's get this glue on here, and then we'll go too far. And you need to glue the cap too in this situation too. The glue cap's got to be glued in too. Okay. Ton of it either. Okay. So okay, and then we're going to stick this right in here like that. See, and again, the idea of having, you can just let go of it, okay, like that. But at any rate, the idea of that is to make it so that it sits up. Because again, if you this sits up high and then this down here touches down here, you know, it's going to be all weird. Yeah, it's not gonna work right. So they have to be pretty parallel. So now while that glue is nice and hot, sticky, we'll quick doll that up a little bit. I ain't worried about this. I'm just doing this for demonstration, so it doesn't. I ain't worried about that at all. I just should have something, you know, box or something to do this. I'm just doing this for, but as you can see, you know, well, I know it's a little hard to see. Okay, now you can look. Obviously, we don't want any shine, so this needs a little more down in there, and be afraid to press it in there. Because it don't make much difference. We just want to be sure there's enough in there. Okay, it's all right, a little hard to see what I'm doing, but so I'm going to lay some of that in there too. Get it in there really good. Okay, and then that as I can, and let's see, I'm going to try to do this where you can see it. But you can see it gets it. It gets right in there really nicely. There's no shine. You can't see the glue except for on this side a little bit. So that's why I kind of make sure you look carefully. Like that. We're going to add just a touch of glue because that's hardened up. Just a touch. So let's get this stuff to stick to it quick. I just push it right in there. All right. And there you have it. Okay. So, and then, like I said, I'll touch this stuff up. I'm not worried about that because now I can handle it, you know, easily, and I can get those touched up quick, and you know, a few little spots here and there. But so that's the deal right there. So it's not super hard yet, but it should almost be hard enough for me to demonstrate it. So let's see. Grab my, and this isn't rounded either, so you know, but right, so just, and then there you go. See, it doesn't take anything. It just it spins like a dream. So as you can see, it doesn't take much of anything. And for cheap, you just got yourself some instant movement in your spread. So, and again, you can do this in anything. You know, you can make these smaller, get more out of them, like crows, stuff like that, crow decoys and so on. So, you know, cardboard doesn't matter too. I got cardboard decoys, and I've done this, and it works like a dream. So, as a matter of fact, we're gonna, in a bit, I'm gonna take, after this guy hardens up, I'll take him outside and set him up and in this wind, and you can see how well this holds up and how well it works. So we'll show you that in a minute. But hope you like it. You know, not much to it. You could probably even make your own if you want, you know, or whatever. So, all right, hold tight, and I'll show you how. Let's see, you probably can't. Darn it, hang tight. Let's see here. So there he is. Just let's see. I mean, well, here I'll blow on. I'll blow. I'll blow on it. Oh, that works really well. There you go. Just put them on the ground. I got an instant movement. Pretty works really well. So, okay. Let me get him outside, and we'll show you how it works. Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty damn windy. Not quite as windy as it was, but I mean, you get an idea. It's blowing pretty good. So you can see the tree back here. Trees are blowing like mad. Okay, so at any rate, so with that being said, here's that decoy that I put the glue on, or glued that piece of CPVC. Now it's a little loose. I got to get it deeper in the ground. But as you can see, it just moves around pretty good, but it's a little loose. So hold tight. I'll see if I can get it in there a little deeper. Hold tight. Okay, that's better. But I mean, it is windy as can be. Now just imagine having 2, 3, 4, 5 dozen of these things doing that. Yeah. So, and I'm actually, I got airplanes or fighter jets going over me. But I got a field that's right across the street that geese have been flying into. And I'm going to make up some more of these things, and I'm going to test them. And we're going to see if that attracts those geese. So, okay, there you go. Real easy deal. Very inexpensive. It's pretty cool. Like it. Works just great. Those crows, my crow decoys, oh my god, I was so impressed. They brought in crows like you couldn't believe. So I'll have to make a video on that too, because I've got a number of different crow decoys that I make. Ones in which full body ones actually are, I use real crow wings and tail feathers on, and it just brings them in. I just know them all. So anyway, so there you have it. Again, you can change the angle on them, you know, this kind of thing if you want. Let's say I kind of wouldn't mind the idea of these feeders being even more of a little bit more of an angle, but I don't know. I think they look good the way they are. So, at any rate, if you like this, I hope you share it. I hope you like and subscribe to my videos, and I will try to whip up the crow video. Show you how those work. So, other than that, I guess that's about it. Good luck with your hunting, and I hope this works for you.